If Letitia James had found you doing what she did, your life would be ruined. Now she expects you to pay for her defense. She should be indicted because she would have indicted you. I'm Damon K. Jones. This is the Publisher's Desk.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine, where life, culture, community, and faith meet truth, power, and purpose.
Welcome to the Publisher's Desk, powered by Black Westchester Magazine, where we speak truth to power with a Black point of view. Tonight, we expose one of the most blatant abuses of public trust in recent memory. New York Attorney General Letitia James, who built her political brand prosecuting fraud, is now under federal investigation for mortgage fraud herself.
To do with the fact that on a power of attorney, I mistakenly indicated that I was a state of Virginia, but prior to that, I had indicated to the mortgage broker that, in fact, in bold cap letters, that I am not a resident of Virginia and never will be.
And instead of accountability, Albany handed her $10 million of your tax dollars to cover her legal defense. Let me say it plainly, she should be indicted, because if you had done what she did, she would have indicted you. This isn't partisan noise. A story built on facts, public records, and sworn legal documents. And the man leading the charge isn't a political opponent. He's forensic accountant Sam Antar, the same expert who took down the Crazy Eddie financial scandal. Antar brought all the receipts, and he laid them out line by line right here on Black Westchester's People Before Politics show.
She, on her financial disclosures, she had a Virginia property on Peroni Avenue in Norfolk that she purchased in 2020. When I'm going through the financial disclosures, I noticed in 2023, she took two mortgages on the property, totaling between $250,000 to $400,000, when she only valued the property at $100,000 to $150,000. Now, that would be a red flag for everybody. I think you're a former cop, Damon?
Yeah. Look, correction.
That would be a red flag for everybody. Cop. Right.
Yeah, John.
Well, yeah. Thank God I didn't get beatings from you to make me a better person. But anyway, the point being is that I looked, wow, this is crazy. 250 to 400. She's valuing it 100 to 150. So I looked at Zillow and this and that. And at most, they were valuing it at $200,000. And I don't want to quote Zillow because, you know, it's a bot and all of that stuff. Right. I stuck to the facts. So automatically I said, you know, let me order a title report on that. I want to see what the hell is going on that property. So I spent the $200, ordered a title report, right? And all of a sudden it comes back and it says she took out a mortgage on the home when she purchased it for $108,000 that was never disclosed. That should have been disclosed. And the two mortgages that led me to the title report aren't in the property records. So I said, what the hell is going on here? You have one mortgage that you didn't disclose to New York State. You have two mortgages that you did disclose to New York State that weren't in the property records. And, you know, and that led me along the path to the other Virginia property in Sterling Street, and led me along the path as far as the Brooklyn property is concerned. And after that, I started to go back to her campaign spending. I says, well, let me just see if there's any state spending, you know, spending from her own office that taxpayers pay for that coincide with the campaign spending. I said, wow, sheesh. There's 6 private jet transactions totaling $40,000 in change to a jet charter company called Venture Jets. No other government agency since 2014 ever did business with them, except for Tish James. She did, and a few of those private jet expenditures overlapped her campaign outings. And after the state stopped paying for those expenses, her campaign started to pay Venture Jets for her private travel. So that's pretty much how I got to Tish James.
Wow. Let me ask you.
It was an evolution. Remember, I'm one person. I can't, do 20 things simultaneously.
Right.
That's how real criminal investigators do it. It's one step at a time, and one fact builds on another, builds up to another fact, builds up to another fact.
It's like this lady on Newsmax, Lydia, I forgot her last name, said to me, it's just peeling the onion. So this is a process. I didn't do the whole investigative work at once. I'm doing it as I'm going along and learning new things, step by step by step. Kind of like
journalism.
Kind of like when the feds caught me.
He showed us exactly how Letitia James misrepresented mortgages, lied on official documents, failed to disclose financial activity, and may have personally benefited from fraud while in public office. Let's not forget, Letitia James has built her career on chasing others for similar crimes. She indicted landlords for misclassifying buildings. She sued Donald Trump for inflating property values. She called it justice. But now she wants the public to believe that when she does it, it's just an honest mistake. If it were you, she'd have locked you up. And she'd have made you an example with cameras rolling. Let's break down what's on the record, what Antar found. 1. The Virginia property. Letitia James co-signed a mortgage for a home in Virginia with her niece. She signed a notarized power of attorney stating the property would be her primary residence to qualify for lower interest rates. The problem is, emails from 2 weeks earlier show James told the mortgage broker, quote, "This property will not be my primary residence." Another email says, "I will not be a Virginia resident and never will be." She knew the truth, but she still signed legal paperwork saying otherwise. That's called perjury and mortgage fraud. 2. Brooklyn property, 296 Lafayette Avenue. For 22 years, James misclassified a 5-unit building as a 4-family residence, even though city records confirm it has 5 units. There are 5 doorbells, 5 electric meters, and a certificate of occupancy stating that it is a commercial property. Why lie? Because 4-family homes qualify for federal homeowner benefits and cheaper loans. 5-unit buildings require commercial loans, higher interest, larger down payments, and more regulation. That's fraud through misrepresentation. 3rd undisclosed mortgage in Norfolk, Virginia. James also purchased another property in Norfolk in 2020. Public records show she took out a mortgage with OBVM Financial, but never disclosed that loan on her state ethics forms, violating Public Officers Law, Section 73, subsection 8. Then in 2023, she suddenly reported 2 other mortgages, neither appearing in the public title records. That suggests she's reporting phantom loans while hiding the real ones.
On your ex, you said multiple phantom mortgages. What do you mean by that?
Let's go back to what I described when she bought the property on Peroni Avenue in Virginia, which is the first of the 2 properties. The Sterling Street property was the one where she signed the affidavit.
Right.
All right. So the Peroni Avenue property, when I first looked, I saw 2 mortgages exceeding the value of the property by a ratio of at least 2 to 1. Then I looked and I saw a 3rd mortgage that was never disclosed, and I couldn't find the 2 mortgages that were disclosed in the financial filings with New York State. These are what I call phantom mortgages. She has also another mortgage that she lists on her financial disclosures in relating to the 296 Brooklyn property, 296 Lafayette Avenue, Brooklyn. That mortgage appears on our financial disclosures to New York State. I can't find it in Acris. So here's the question. Okay, I don't think she made up those mortgages. This is my opinion. Again, I don't want to, I'll tell you when I deviate from facts to opinion. I don't think that she fabricated those mortgages. What I do think is questions should be asked. Why weren't those mortgages recorded?
Right. That's a
that's the whole purpose of getting a mortgage.
Yeah,
they don't get any protection if it's an unrecorded mortgage. It's just like a regular general debt.
That's interesting. I guess. Well, how do you have mortgages that's not recorded? I'm confused. I'm.
You know what it is? She's been on the air. This is baseless. Is this? But she won't litigate. But she's litigating by saying it's baseless and all of that. The first 2 pages of a rebuttal of a lawyer's rebuttal to the DOJ referral was all about Trump. I mean, I can't believe. I think she sees Trump when she wakes up in the morning, when she goes to sleep. I don't know. To me, it's like an obsession. And I'm not defending Trump. Believe me, I'm
Sam, what you're saying, I want to make sure I'm clear. She didn't record the mortgage loan where?
Okay, the Brooklyn property, I'm not sure of the name, and I don't want to mix it up. Name is irrelevant, but I've written in my blog, Brooklyn property, there's one mortgage listed on our financial disclosures that cannot be found on ACRIS. ACRIS is the ruling database. Everybody uses ACRIS. It's a government-funded database.
So I just, the cop in me started like, okay, well, what's the benefit of not recording a mortgage loan? And AI spit out the answer. I have to verify this, but it literally says the main benefit of not recording a mortgage loan is to avoid paying mortgage recording taxes.
That is correct. New York is worse than the mafia when it comes to extracting money out of people.
4, missing rental income. James reported $1,000 to $5,000 in rental income in 2020, but after that, nothing. Even though we know tenants still live on the Brooklyn property, it's not just the mortgage, it's the ongoing concealment of income, the same thing she's charged others with. Sam Antar called it what it is. This isn't a mistake. This is a long-term pattern of deception and a classic case of mortgage fraud. And here's the insult. While all this unfolds, Albany approved a $10 million legal defense fund to protect Letitia James. That's your money, not hers, not campaign money, taxpayer money. We should not carry the legal weight of someone accused of defrauding the system she enforced. If our elected officials protect this alleged corruption, it's time to replace James. It's time to replace the entire government that enables her. This scandal proves what we already know. There are 2 justice systems, one for the people and one for the powerful. Letitia James is hiding behind the very system she used to destroy others. And Governor Kathy Hochul, she's helping her do it, signing off on millions of dollars in defense money. It's time we stop accepting this. It's time we demand it better. And it's time we start electing leaders who serve the people, not just protect each other. If Letitia James had found you doing what she did, your life would be ruined. Now she expects you to pay for her defense. She should be indicted because she would have indicted you. I'm Damon K. Jones. This is the Publisher's Desk. Stay informed, stay independent, stay blessed, and most of all, stay blacktastic. Thank you to everyone who supported us through Super Chat. Your contributions keep independent media alive and thriving. We couldn't do it without you. Stand strong, speak loud. Wear the truth. The Black Mental Health Matters Tea. Support health, wellness, mental clarity, and independent media. Get yours now. Stand up. Speak out. The Free Speech is Not Free t-shirt is more than a statement. It's a movement. Support independent media.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine, where life, culture, community, and faith meet truth, power, and purpose.